What's up, everybody? Tindo here. Got Hannah in the passenger seat. And why are we starting today's video in the dark? Well, it's time. We're going to garage sales today. We don't do it a ton on the channel because, to be just completely honest, we prefer the ease and comfort of the thrift store. But we got up early today and it's time to go to some garage sales. I have 2 sausage biscuits, 1 sausage McGriddle. Thank you very much. So the first thing we have today is a fundraiser sale for a marching band at a high school, so there ought to be quite a bit to look at here. I'm not really sure how filming this in the dark is gonna go. This is definitely a first, but we can figure this out together. Definitely feels like a high school, don't it? It does. Do you feel trapped? There's a big pile of clothes over here. Hannah's digging in. Let's check it out. Find anything? Found a video game. You didn't find nothing though? Look at all these clothes. Here you go. Peek-a-pee.
Are you ready to get out of here?
I've just got a keychain.
Oh, wow. Well, how much do you want to float us for that?
I'll just give you $1. How about
awesome.
that?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's get out of here. So that was a really interesting learning experience, I guess, because there were 2 gates and all the instructions said go to the north side, which we did, but there was kind of like a west side entrance. So right at the stroke of 6:30 when they're supposed to open, there's just this flood of resellers just scooping stuff up violently. So, I mean, not a big deal. Nobody really got anything that I wanted. There was an inbox Wii, but I heard what the guy paid for it. It was like, you know, $30, which is a great price, but that's more than I pay for them at the bins, so no real loss. Bought a Sonic game and a Dragonite. What do you think about that?
It's funny because I got one too whenever I was a kid. And I
You
got
have
it at the
this?
Rummage sale, yeah.
Really? And you got it at a Rummage sale? Nice. All right, well, the sun's actually coming up. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see it. So maybe the next stop I won't have to walk around with my flashlight on. All those shots from this yard sale were for me like this.
Turn right into the parking lot, then arrive at your destination.
I got you, Siri. I see it. I see the big Rummage sale sign. So we're about to whip in here and there's signs all over the place. Big Rummage sale sign, street marker, it says huge sale this way. Tons of cars pulling in here. Get a look at these cars. They're all have these cars just pulled in front of us. So I don't know what this is. There's a line over here. I'm not sure if this is something that's yearly. Okay, I think, yeah, we're at a church. I see a cross. It's usually a good sign that it's a church. I think we're at a church. I need to Google these things and find out if they're yearly. Because if we go in here and it's good, I definitely want to come back whenever they're having it. But they seem too well oiled at doing it. So this might be a multi-time a year. But there's so many people pulling up right now. I guess let's go get in that line. I'd like to think that somebody just pulled up in their RV and was like, I'm first in line. Seriously though, look at this line. This is serious. This is a serious church rummage sale. What do you think?
This is really big.
Yeah, seems like a big event.
Yeah.
Wonder if they're charging the gates.
Ooh, I don't know.
Have some dollar bills ready. I mean, there is like tables at the entrance, I think. It's probably an entry fee.
Okay.
The people in the front of the lines have garbage bags.
Oh my god.
They're so ready. I wish I was that ready. It's too early to be that ready though.
Tired. I should have brought a parka.
Are you that cold?
I'm so cold.
You want a double jean jacket?
Hold me, I'm cold.
All right, we're zooming. They just released the floodgates. And this dude's like, I don't care about no line. Dude just ran straight in.
Maverick.
I think that's a big holdback for me for garage sales for going regularly is that like I'm too polite. I'm not gonna be that guy that fights somebody for a $5 Wii. I'm just not gonna do
Hey
it.
man, it's yours.
It's all yours, man. Take it. I mean, even the other day when that dude had Streets of Rage for $1 in his hand at the Goodwill, and I was like, kind of hope he puts it back. I was like, here, that dude's probably stoked. He's probably happy to go home with it. Look, they're fighting. Swear, already. Dude's fighting over TV. So serious. Oh, look at the lava lamp.
Ooh, enormous lava lamp.
It is huge. And it just has a $ sign on top. I don't know where to start. Where do I go? All right, workout VHS check.
Good morning.
Hello. A bag full of Beyblades. For $2, I'm in. $2. Heck yeah. There are clothes everywhere. Have you found anything?
I think I'm gonna have trouble finding things because everything is gonna be a little bit too modern for what I'm looking for, but fingers crossed. I think I found vintage. Way more manageable to go through these boxes. It's funny, you would think with all that time I spend at the bins digging through clothes that I'd be way more equipped for this, but it's so cold, I can't move. Oh no, there's a whole box of vintage dresses. Oh shoot, those are my kryptonite. I love vintage dresses. Okay, there was like one, but that's okay. Wow, that's really pretty. It's like the floor is lava, but the floor is shoes.
This one, no?
Oh, no, you're good. I'm just really afraid that there's like a really awesome band tee in this mess that I'm never ever gonna find. It's haunting me right now. We'll be getting. It's a little soul crushing to know how many pairs of Levi's are in here. None of them are vintage.
Oh shit, there's more this way. It doesn't end. Well, here's all the electronics. Probably should have hit this first. This is where I saw the TV fight. Big CRT. Fake gaming keyboard. All things good. Check, there's a wireless battery powered printer. Dang. Look at that longbow. All right. Couple Pokemon cards. Bag full of Disney Infinity stuff. I can't find a price. But it's got several in there we don't have. Whew, it's pretty wild in here, but I did a couple of laps around. I went straight to wherever the toys were first. I got a couple bags full of Beyblades. We'll talk about these a lot more later. On my second trip around, I got a bag full of Disney Infinity stuff, so I'm pretty excited. Kind of curious what Hannah's found.
There's a mug for every single person in the world to grab 2 of them and still have a surplus. There's so many mugs in this world. Oh, you're fine. matching spoon. I love it. My hair was stuck to the camera. Do I have to get that? I think I do. I love this. It's only 25 cents. There's so many people in here. I think they all have the same idea that it's super cold outside. Let's all hang out inside. Okay, this looks like it's just all toys and Christmas stuff. So I think we are good to go.
Go ahead. Ready when you are. Where are we at?
We're trying to figure this out.
Front, back face.
Back
there you go.
face. There we go.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
What was your name?
Vince.
Vince. Nice to meet you, man.
Pleasure to meet you guys.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, good luck.
Now this, I don't know if I found a price on. These have some scribble on them.
Yeah, so 2, 4.
This is a bag full of toys as well.
Let's do another $2.
Okay, great.
2, 4, 6, and
That's mine.
Oh, that's yours. Okay. I was like, did we have that?
Yeah, I wish. I didn't spend garage sale money on that. All right, that went great. First of all, shout out to Vince, and what was his wife's name?
Christine.
Christine. She wasn't here with him, but you guys rock. Thanks for watching the channel. What did you get?
I got the coolest Toy Story cup I've ever seen.
That is dope. What are we gonna do with that? We're gonna put it on our odd things shelf?
No, I'm gonna drink out of it. Look, it's got Forky on it.
So it's like brand new.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the 4. Sure wish I could read. What else did you get?
I got a vintage night dress. It's got a robe and a dress, I think. There's the robe.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, oh, you got something else?
Army pants.
All right, very nice. I got 2 bags of Beyblade, $2 each. I was hoping there was some like classic Beyblades from when I was a kid in here. There kind of looks like there might be a couple older ones, but at any rate, I've long wanted to do a Beyblade video, just kind of more like a love letter to... I've got a series of videos I want to do. I really shouldn't say this stuff prematurely, but I get so excited about it. One of these days down the road, I want to do like this series of love letter videos, like love letters to Power Rangers, like how much I love it and how much I loved Beyblades when I was a kid. But like it was always gonna be hard to do without just a crap ton of Beyblades. I've got all the Beyblades I'll ever need now. And then $2 for this bag full of Disney Infinity. We'll go through everything that's in here a little bit later, but I feel like I did a lot better this time getting the jump. That last one, everyone got to everything before we did. I got in there and ran straight to the toys, and honestly, I looked at all the toys before anybody did.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good. I got overwhelmed and slowed down and just took it all in for a minute.
Yeah. I kind of felt that way at the first one, but let's try to go to a residential or two before we quit for the day. All right, so this next stop I have it's a residential, but you can tell from the photos and their listing that they're seasoned yard sellers. They have lots of DVDs, lots of movies and stuff, and you know, it's not the typical house cleaning mom that's just trying to get rid of all her kids' extra video games. And my personal preference is to pretty much stay away from those, but they did a really good job making their post because it says all video games are $1, and it has pictures of boxes full of dollar video games. And you know how much I love dollar video games. That sun is bright. Did I just instantly light up on screen? So we're gonna go give some resellers here a chance. If I were back home in rural Kentucky where I learned to yard sell, I'd probably end up staying away from those just because you get too familiar with what people keep at their yard sales when they're, you know, habitual yard sellers. But I essentially don't really know what I'm doing here in this metropolis that is Phoenix. So we'll go give it a shot. Hopefully there's a couple other residential yard sales around there where there is a mother trying to get rid of her kids' video games, but the pool for dollar video games is too strong. And Hannah's got so many $1 bills in her pocket right now, she might be a stripper. That's all I'm saying. So we can buy a lot of dollar video games. Look at her. Look at her. You look so pretty in this light.
Oh, thanks.
Look at the sun. Okay, well, you can look at the sun because you've got a camera in between you, but I had to put the glasses on. Okay, look at this. I guess you can go ahead and just forget everything I just said because we were on the way to the garage sale that I just mentioned, and we spotted the boxes on the road, the telltale bright green and pink boxes on the road pointing us in this direction. So we're gonna go here first and then we'll go to the reseller dude. I'm pretty excited. This looks good. So wish me luck. Ooh, look at this. Classic. Ooh, look at that. Look at this Pacific Rim poster. That's pretty cool. Good, how are you? All right, well, that one was a bust, but it was worth a stop. Did you see anything at all?
Yeah, there's a vintage pair of Levi's there, but not the right size I'm looking for.
All right, let's move on to the reseller dude and pray for dollar video games. I bet they're all sports. But hey, if they're sports I don't have, I'll pay $1 for them. Here, hold this. Because safety first. All right, we just rolled up. Please have dollar video games. Please have dollar video games.
Early bird in the warm and all that. Something to that at the yard sale. Yeah, you call whatever.
These ones you're taking or ones you're just okay?
Like a fanny pack, and I call it a fanny pack. It's a
That
long
helps you
story.
out.
So these are not. So the
This one,
movie,
actually,
no,
the-
DVDs over
this
here
one
are
didn't even
$1.
have a
The
disc in
seasons
it.
are
Yeah.
$2. Disney range from 2 to 5 depending on what it is. These Blu-rays in the DVD cases are 1. These are 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much. So I'm glad we came here because there was a bunch of dollar games, but as we were walking up, there was a couple that was basically just shoveling every single video game there into their box because they were excited too that they were $1. And I was able to get some stuff left over, but it would have been a much bigger haul had we got here first. But you can't win them all. All right, let's go to the next one. So the listing for this one was a bit strange. It showed a picture of a flea market and then basically mentioned that it was a residential. So I don't know, maybe if it's like a block sale or what. Look down this alleyway while we roll by because I guess it's down here. I can't see nothing because the sun's bright. Yeah, and it's just a little dinky garage sale, but the listing was like a flea market. People are goofy. There's not a really good parking situation here. I've already seen one car parked on the curb, and that's good for them, but I'm in a huge van. It's not really feasible. But we're gonna figure this out. I guess I am just gonna park on the curb. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? See, look at this tiny little garage sale. Yeah, I'm just rolling up in front of the fire hydrant and everything. What are you gonna do? All right, let's make this quick.
Like comics have comic long boxes
Yeah,
that haven't even been opened.
yeah, I'll check them out.
Box of that.
Let me check out these magazines. Fitness. How much you got? Yeah, I got you. How much are they?
There's 9 in there. How about like $10?
Twilight Zone. What do you got? I'm sure he'll sell it to you.
You want the one that's on the ground?
Well, how much are they?
They're $3. I love granny square blankets, so I'm like, that's exactly what I like.
That one? Yeah.
Here, hold
I'm
this.
so sorry.
No.
Stop apologizing.
We're gonna make it work. Yeah, see, you got it. Cool.
Here you go. Now this is pretty cool. Check that out. You don't have any video games I'm missing, do you?
No.
That's really all I'm looking for.
Got too many kids.
Yeah.
They're all playing them. They're actually inside right now doing that.
I understand. I would be too if we weren't out here. All right, I'm thinking that's probably going to be it for now because we do have somewhere else to be for the day. But Hannah got a big stack of blankets.
Where were these at 6 a.m. when I was freezing?
You're always cold though. All right, guys, we are back in the game room, and I don't know about you, but I bought some pretty cool stuff.
I bought some really fun stuff too.
All right, well, I'm excited to jump in and tell you everything we bought, but I kind of wanted to throw some disclaimers out before we jumped into this and just talk a little bit about yard sales, garage sales from our point of view, just so we are kind of clear where we are with yard selling. Do you call them yard sales or garage sales?
Well, it depends on where the sale is. If it's inside the garage, it's a garage sale.
I can't pick one. I will, in one sentence, use both. But I wanted to talk about how we felt about today and how we feel about yard sales moving forward, because we're definitely going to do some more, but we're not trying to be a quote-unquote yard sale channel. There's lots of people that make amazing content, I'm sure, just doing yard sales. But let's start by talking about how we felt about it, and then we'll talk a little bit about, you know, how we feel about doing more. So do you feel like this is viable, A, for restocking your clothing business? And B, you know, for making videos? Let's break it into two there.
Yeah, I'll start with the videos because I think that's going to be an easier answer. I think for the videos itself, I think it's going to be a lot easier to find your gaming stuff. Yeah. I think it's going to be really interesting.
You think it's going to be easier to find games at garage sales than thrift stores?
No, I feel like it just, they might be cheaper.
Yeah, for sure when we find them, they'll be cheaper. I can definitely agree with that.
I think it'll be a lot more interesting what we find at garage sales because, you know, like, case in point, some of the things that you found today, like, we would have not found at the thrift store this easily.
Right.
My stuff, I think for the clothing, it might be a little bit more challenging because, I mean, if you've got a soccer mom and her 5 kids cleaning out her closets to, like, downsize, it's all going to be a lot of modern stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a ton of, like, grandma's attic kind of things that I'm looking for. I think estate sales are going to be really good for my clothing stuff.
You know, there were a couple of estate sales listed for today, and we just ran out of time before we could get to them. So maybe next week or the next week we'll reconfigure and definitely maybe try to hit a couple more of those. But you bring up an interesting point because, for sure, antique clothing stuff seems way more likely it's going to show up at the thrift than the garage sale. Or that's what it feels like. We might. I don't want to make any super declarative statements at this point because we're very likely to find out otherwise. I really feel strongly that way. But like you said, video games, they will show up, and hopefully they'll be a lot cheaper. Pretty much all the video games at both of the yard sales that I saw video games at, they were all $1. So, you know, your boy likes dollar games, so that's good. Well, I've got a lot of feelings, a lot of mixed feelings. Because I'll tell you what I kind of felt like it was, at least at those rummage sales, this felt more like the bins than I thought it would. Do you know what I mean?
Especially with the clothes. I had to, like,
dig
into stuff.
2 different places, you were just, like, shoveling stuff.
I felt like I was in the bins, but it was worse because I was on my knees.
Yeah, and it was cold outside. It
was so cold.
And, you know, I kind of mentioned this back at the beginning of the video, but that's kind of the thing. I get asked probably once a day, sometimes more, why don't you do more yard sales? You would find better stuff. And everybody's got these really strong opinions. Seems like people that love yard sales just love them. And no doubt, there is the potential to find better stuff at the yard sales. But I'm telling you, if this doesn't look like a haul from the bins, with everything we got, I don't know what does.
It's true.
So, you know, I still really, really prefer the thrift. We'll still do way more thrifting than we will do yard selling. So, but I am excited to get some more yard selling in. It's just, you know, we'll go more. We'll end up striking lucky, and, you know, yard sales will work out. I'm not at all trying to say they won't or trying to discourage anyone from going. But I do kind of want to push this conversation into a more specific point that I want to make, and it's that, like, there's this really interesting thing that happens where a lot of resellers, specifically, I'll tell you what interaction I have, just to be really specific. I keep running into people in public and having conversations on Instagram where I'll run into a guy that's super into gaming, and they'll be like, I love your stuff. My girlfriend is actually a clothes reseller too, and she has learned a ton from watching Hannah. And I'm like, thank you so much for saying so. That is such a cool thing to hear. I really do appreciate that. And that's cool. If you guys have learned anything from us, that's fine. But I definitely want to make it clear we definitely didn't make this channel to be informative. We do feel cool that some people have felt that way. But it kind of works conversely, too. I know a lot of people that are yard sellers that are pretty hardcore in a way that I completely appreciate. But, like, we're not trying to give yard sale tips, you know, and conversely, we're not trying to get them either. So if you've already typed heated comments trying to give us advice for yard selling, go ahead and go delete them, because they're just not really they're not gonna help anything here. We've yard sold as much as you have. We just haven't been doing it on the channel. And we're not very likely tomorrow to turn into super hardcore yard sailors and start using all those tips and tricks that everybody has watched on YouTube videos. You know what I mean? And I think that's an important conversation to have here on this first garage sailing video, because moving forward, I just want you guys to know we're going to do exactly what we did today. We're going to go have fun. I'm going to buy nonsense. We're going to buy a few things to flip. And I personally am way more interested in having some fun than I am, you know, just terrorizing a whole city block trying to beg people to go get their video games and sell them to me. You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like I had a lot of fun with it today, because the thing that I really love about going to multiple thrift stores in one day is like that potential of like what's gonna be next.
Yeah.
I felt like it was really strong with the yard sales because it's like, oh my gosh, well this one looks good because it's like gonna be 3 in 1.
Right. Well,
like,
it felt a lot faster paced than going to thrift stores, because when we go to thrift stores, it's a 15-minute drive a piece. And when you go, it's these really tight parking lots where you've got to. We drive a big van, so we've got to park in the back of the parking lot, lock all the doors, and then walk all the way in, spend some time there. This, we were just going. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We were pulling up on the curve next to the house. I would leave the van unlocked because at no point would the van be anywhere near out of my sight. I didn't leave it running, but I would turn it off. We would jump out. We would run up. We'd do a lap. I'd have my camera. You know, I'd run around like this. And then we would just go back to the car, and we would be at another yard sale in 5 or 6 minutes. Now, I know these things are obvious. I know a lot of people that are yard sellers are going to be used to this kind of rhythm, but it is interesting after we've made now, 150 yard thrifting videos, to do something so wildly different. It is really neat to compare it.
I have a question for you. Do you feel like the quality of games that you found today are comparable to the thrift, or do you foresee the quality being a little better because of the being at yard sales?
I'll be honest with you. I kind of already talked about that, but I already regret what I said a little bit, because I get a little bit, you know, muffed at people when they're so adamant that you will absolutely find better stuff at yard sales. And I think if anyone says that, they're talking about their location specifically, and it's specific to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here, if I'm going to use this one yard sale trip to make that judgment, that would also be really dumb, and it would be missing a lot of information. This feels like a stack of games I came back from the bins or from the Goodwills with.
Yeah.
There's nothing wildly special here whatsoever. Probably the best deal I got was an Xbox 360 copy of Minecraft. You know, like, I mean, in terms of like, if I were worried about resale or something, I've got a few games here that I'm excited to have, I'm excited to play, but it was nothing wild. But, you know, my wildest thrift finds, or my wildest game hunting finds at this point, of course, have been from thrift. So, you know, like a video 2 days ago, I found Streets of Rage 3 on Sega, like a $100 game, and an $80 drag racing game, right? So we might thrift for the rest, or I'm sorry, we might garage sale for the rest of this garage sale season and find nothing like that. And it would be very easy for me at the end of that to go, oh, it's not worth it. But the only reason I find such good things at the thrift is because we go every day. I don't mean to make that so staccato, but we go every day. And so the law of averages dictates that if we go enough, we'll find enough. So I'm sure after 100 yard sale trips, I'll come home with something crazy. And I definitely, though, my goal, though, is to just remain positive about it and not fall into that trap that so many people do. It's just like, oh, what do you like better? Xbox or PlayStation 4? It's probably going to be whichever one you have, and the other one's going to be stupid. I want to do both. I definitely want to stay thrifting as much as we do and add yard sales, garage sales, estate sales. What was the other one? Rummage sales, that's my favorite.
Boot sales if you're in the UK.
Yeah, boot sales, those are good too. But yeah, I had a blast. I'm glad we did it. I definitely want to do it a little bit more structured next time.
Yeah.
And like plan them out the day before. We downloaded some of the yard sale apps that like everyone uses, Craigslist, and some of the other ones. There's tons. We looked at all of them, tried a couple of them out this time. Might try a couple different ones next time. But like try to pre-plan where we go and maybe specifically hit some estate sales. I mean, I do like the rummage sales, and I definitely want to try to be aware of when they all are going to be in town and maybe start keeping a calendar year and go to some yearly that we like. That'll be cool. But I want to wake up nice and early next week and just hit a lot of residential stuff in one certain part of town. Like I want to drive way up north or something and pick a neighborhood. That's kind of what I think we'll do next week, but I'm not making any promises. But let's stop yip-yapping. and talk about everything we got, because I've got some stuff I'm so excited to talk about.
I'm very excited too, because this top thing, I just want to bust it open and see what it actually looks like.
Well, go ahead and jump into it. Matter of fact, why don't you get up in front of the camera a little bit and show it, because the detail of that thing is not going to show up on camera.
Right. So
just rip the bag off.
it is a vintage night dress, I believe from the 70s.
Wow.
I believe. It's
Wow.
actually a JCPenney tag, which is really cool. But yeah, it's got this like subtle flower.
Is that a cape? Is that on the front or the back?
I don't know.
This thing-
Okay, so it's a dress,
Oh.
a night dress. Look at that V-neck. That's
Okay, so you
that's
wear
plungy.
you wear that one in bed, and when you know Romeo throws the pebbles at your window, you slip that one on so he doesn't
Yeah.
see you.
like, oh my gosh, there's someone at my window, and you just go throw this on
Gotcha.
and like swirl it around and have a good time with it. So
Very
this
nice.
is so pretty, and for $3, I was not mad about it.
Yeah.
All the clothing was $1 at that sale, but I guess because it was one of the like fancy things that they had hanging up, it was more expensive.
How much did you pay for it?
$3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was weird. There was. I think they set out at that rummage sale to price things, and it was just too much of a task. They stopped because I had lots of stuff that had permanent marker scribbled on it, and then lots of stuff that didn't. So they were just kind of making up the prices on some of it, and I don't know. It was a little bit disorganized, but it was great, and I can't wait to find out when they have it again, and so we can go back then.
I'd definitely revisit that one. That was cool.
Yeah, that was probably stop of the day for me, because that's where I got this first item I'm going to talk about. I got 2 whole bags, 2 gargantuan freezer bags of Beyblade. All right, and I've talked about Beyblade on the channel before, and more importantly, I never miss an opportunity to buy a Beyblade game. One of my favorite PS1 games, not for playing, but like for displaying and looking at, is the PS1 Beyblade game, just because there's some things that, you know, we're all nostalgic for when we were a kid, and probably one of the things I was obsessed with the most was Beyblade. I just loved it.
I feel like your Beyblade is like my Pog, which is very weird because I am younger than you, but my brother collected Pogs.
I
when was a
mean, we
kid.
had Pogs too, but like that wasn't it was a strategic thing if you really seriously played Pogs, but the Beyblades were just so cool. I've explained this a little bit on the channel, but they were all these different pieces you could put together. You had a base, and you had a weight, and you had blades, and all this stuff, and they were all built in a way that they tried to maximize safety. But I was so obsessive about it, I would take a Dremel, I would take my dad's tools and make pieces go together that shouldn't, and make these gnarly, dangerous spinning tops that never lost. And so, yeah, you guys have watched this channel. Hannah and I both try to be hyper creative, or that's what we're into. So that was just something that was a perfect outlet for me. That being said, I did mention a little bit earlier in the video, if it didn't get edited out, but whether or not it did, I just want to explain a little more. I have this series I want to do where I write love letters to the things I liked when I was a kid. Power Rangers, Beyblades, just to name a couple of things that definitely come right off, that come off the top of my head. And I've actually already started shooting and editing the Power Rangers one. I just need more people to interview about Power Rangers, and it'll be done. It's just a big conversation piece with artsy stuff. And when it's done, I want to do a Beyblades one, period. That's the next one. But like, I want to shoot lots of cool footage of Beyblades, and I didn't have any. But now I got more Beyblades than anybody's ever going to need. All right, you do your next item, and then I'll do...
My next item's a little lame because it was a pair of vintage army pants. If you watch a lot of the channel, you see me pick these up all the time. It's something that always resells really well.
Yeah, we sell camo pants once a day, at least. This was another thing for the same rummage sale, and I got it on my second trip back around, and really, I'll tell you what I did. Knowing that those 2 bags of Beyblade toys was only $2, this didn't have a price tag on it, but I knew it was going to be cheap. So I just grabbed it and didn't dig through it. So we're going to go through it together. There's some Disney Infinity in there, and I don't know which they are, and
I'm very excited.
there might be some other stuff in there too, I don't know. But I also got a Dragonite keychain. It was something from our first stop, and it's going to go on the Pokemon shelf. Matter of fact, I'm just going to set it back there right now, because the Pokemon shelf there is incredibly void of Pokemon that are not Pikachu.
Can I tell you one of my deepest, darkest secrets?
Oh, sure.
That has to do with that Dragonite keychain. So when I was like...
Oh, I know this story, don't I?
Yeah. So I, whenever I was like first grade, I think my, I'm gonna back up a little bit. Sorry.
Well, what you got to do is go back to 1992. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I was born then, so a little bit fast forward.
That's the beginning of the story. That's my
See
point.
what you did there. So our town had a summer rummage sale in our high school gym. And my mom and I always volunteered to like put stuff out for the rummage sale every single year. So we were working the rummage sale this one year. I was probably in first or second grade or something like that. And it was a day that my mom needed to go home for some reason. And she left me with her best friend. But I didn't know that my mom wasn't coming back. So my mom's best friend was going to take me home that day, but I didn't know that. So it was the end of the sale, and I found a bunch of those Pokemon keychains.
And that exact one was one of them.
And I probably have it at home somewhere, and I don't know where. But there was like 10 of them or something like that, and I was so happy I found them. I found those and a little doll hairbrush. And I remember it so specifically because I did a thing that I felt so bad about my entire life. I didn't know my mom wasn't coming back, and I didn't want to leave them, so I didn't have any money, and I took them home with me.
But you didn't just leave and go, oh, I forgot to pay for them. You were just like, screw this situation.
What do? I don't want to leave them. So I didn't say anything, and I walked out.
And then you felt bad for years.
Not knowing that like nobody cared. They were 10-cent toys that they were going to throw away anyway.
Nobody cared.
So that's my deepest, darkest secret.
That's the worst thing Hannah ever did.
Thanks, Internet.
If that doesn't tell you anything about it. All right, there's a Wii recharging thing for which I don't have the bases at an Infinity Portal. Now, there's also a copy of Just Dance 3. Great. All right, so let's just dig in here and grab one. All right. First up is, what is it? It's the Lone Ranger Tonto. Yeah. No, it's Tonto. Is it Tonto? Yeah, so Tonto, the bad guy from Incredibles. Ooh. Sweet. This is one we definitely don't have. It's the Lone Ranger, and he's like see-through and stuff. Cool. So, good. There's one in there we don't have. Ooh, I don't have this either. See-through Lightning McQueen. I guess these were like different versions of them.
Do they glow in the dark?
It must, or something. Yeah, because I thought I have this regular one. Are these just like sun faded or something? Like the paint was all stripped off, or do they come with this? They gotta be like special editions. Cause and then it's your boy.
We got that one, don't we?
Yeah, we already have most of them.
Oh, we have that one too.
Yeah.
And that one.
We don't have Woody though, so.
Ooh.
Yes. So Woody and these two made it worth it, unless they're just the paint stripped off. I don't ever remember seeing see-through ones though. And then there's a handful of these, like another bag full of these. I don't even know what they're called because we've never actually played Disney Infinity, but they're these little totems that unlock something in the game. So that was a nice $2 haul.
That Woody goes with my next item.
Yeah.
The Toy Story 4 cup.
We gotta show this one closer, just to get it. Oh, baby.
It's so pretty.
It is really pretty. I wonder where it came from originally. You think?
I don't know.
Alamo. It says on it. From
the Alamo Draft House?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I didn't know they had specialized cups. We haven't eaten there. We drive by one all the time. All right. Go through your blankets and then we'll end on the video games.
So I bought some blankets. I bought 3 hand-crocheted Afghans. A little granny square one. I bought a chevron Granny square. Which is really pretty.
Hold on. Let's hold them up better. This one is really interesting.
Yeah.
It's got a lot going on. We might mention too, I don't know if we said it earlier in the video or not, but we resell these on our clothing sites. People buy them. So to buy them for $3, we'll flip them for a nice little profit.
And then a brown granny square
This
one.
is when you think of a granny square blanket. That's what you think of right there.
This one's a funny story because when I was looking through the blankets, I saw those two and I was like, maybe I'll get those two. And then I saw all the clothes that he had laid out on top of this one and I was like, can I have that one?
Yeah.
He was like, sure.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we got a lot of random stuff. But let's go to the video games here. I think everything was $1 except for this first Sonic game, which was $2. And you know what? I still haven't played Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, but it's on like 3 or 4 different systems, and one of them being Xbox 360 with the Kinect. So it's like motion controlled. I imagine this game specifically, that might be the one to play, but I don't know. I just don't know what I should play it on. Maybe if you do know, comment below, but also with the rest of these games, if you see anything that you think we should play, tell us why. We just did our first live stream gaming here on YouTube today, and it went really well, so thanks for everybody that came out. We'll be doing it most Saturdays from now on. Not really setting a time. It'll be different times. Just randomly you'll get a notification on Saturdays we're doing it. But I tell you all this to say, besides to say to come back next Tuesday and hang out then, anytime you see a game on here that's just like awesome and you think it would be a great multiplayer game or a single player game for Patrick and Hannah and I all to take turns on or something, let us know. Comment below and say, oh, that'd be a great game for the stream. Because I don't know anything about this Tarzan game, never played it, but it's Tarzan Untamed. Which to get a game like this that I don't have at a garage sale for $1 makes me super excited. That makes garage sales just worth it. I've never seen this game in the wild. Not that it's rare or anything, I just haven't encountered it yet. Batman Vengeance, a game I already have that might have been missing its manual, so now I have it complete, but at any rate, love Batman. So maybe I'll just keep the one I have on the Xbox shelf, and I might just put this on my Batman shelf, because why not? I already showed you Minecraft Xbox 360 edition. Star Wars The Clone Wars Republic Heroes, a PlayStation 2 Star Wars game I did not have, so that's awesome. And then this, Tie 2, the Tasmanian Tiger Bush Rescue. We have the first one, now we have the second one. And then this, what?
Yay.
This I don't know anything about. Gauntlet, Seven Sorrows. That looks gnarly. Definitely comment below if you know anything about that one. And then last and certainly not least, Wii Fit and Wii Fit Plus, because they were just $1, and $1 is the right price.
Well, it wouldn't be the first garage sailing video if you didn't buy Wii Fit.
Yeah, you have to go all out for the inaugural garage sale video. To Wii Fit. Go ahead and put them over there on the Wii Fit shelf.
All right.
We've almost filled another shelf with Wii Fit. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thanks for bearing with us on this wild, wacky adventure. I need you to do some things for me before you go. Do mark your calendars for Tuesdays and Saturdays. That will be our live stream days. Tuesdays for our podcast. Did I mix it up earlier? Saturday, if I've messed it up, I'm going to mess it up a few times on the channel. Tuesday is podcast. Saturday is gaming. If I've said otherwise before now, forget what I said. Tuesdays is podcast. Saturday is for live streaming gaming. Okay, so we are going to... what are we going to do for next Saturday? I don't know. We're trying to figure out some goofy stuff to do on each podcast. Like talk about topics and then do something wild, like cook a meal for no reason. But not like every podcast. In the next podcast, we might just pick up and leave the house and stay live and do something else. Who knows? You want to come back for those podcasts. So what I need you to do is subscribe and turn those notifications on by ringing that bell so that when we do those podcasts, when we do garage sale videos in the future and all that stuff, you'll get a notification when we post those videos. So do those things. Mark your calendar, subscribe, ring the bell. And then another thing you could do is join our Discord, which is just a community forum where we chat. There's lots of people over there sharing their garage sale finds when they find stuff on the weekends. So if you want to see more, even more garage sale stuff, join our Discord. The link is below the video. It's also a place where we also post notifications for when we go live and all that other stuff. So if you want to keep up with us and maybe chat with us, join the Discord so that you know next time we post a video like this. And at that time, you'll be able to come back and hang out with us then. And until then, guys, peace out.